Greetings, I'm Jacqueline Lulu Brown, founder and CEO of Revolution Ascension, LLC. It is your sacred and safe space for awakening, self-discovery, self-healing, transformational enlightenment, and ascending to your highest level. I want to leave a couple of things with you as we come to the end of this month. We know that the month of March is Women in History Month, and I love to say Women in HerStory. So I just want to ask the question, through all the celebrating and everything that we've done, the acknowledgement of others that have paved the way for us, that have blazed their trail, those that are blazing their trail right now, and those that are really just kind of getting started. Out of all that we're celebrating, I want to ask you and leave you with a thought. What are you doing to make your mark in history, HerStory? Are you investing in yourself? Are you taking time to make sure that you are pouring into yourself? Are you making sure that you're doing what is necessary to walk in your destiny, for you to ascend to your highest level? So just some things to think about. We should be operating in women history really 24/7, 365. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year is really when we should actually be just moving forward and ascending and growing and celebrating one another. My beloved queens and sisters, everything that you have inside of you, that the divine creator, God, whatever you choose to call your higher power, there have been some things put inside of you by that very power. All of your DNA that you've inherited, whether it's your mom, your dad, your grandparents, all of those things make up the greatness that's inside of you. So I want you to make sure that you are letting that come forth so that you can make your mark in history, HerStory, your story. The second thing I wanted to share with you is that we are still in a battle, and we cannot slow down raising our voices in speaking out against injustice, bullying, denigration of women of any type whatsoever. And I'm going to share a quick story with you of something that I found out about today that really, I'm going to say, I had to take a minute to calm down so that I could respond with emotional intelligence and not what I was really feeling in the moment. I had the opportunity to participate in an honoring of 22 women from all over the world. This was an international honoring for Women in History Month. And 22 women were selected to be interviewed to share their story about what they're doing, how they're impacting the world, and what they're doing to make their mark in history. And the movement was part of the hashtag Choose to Challenge. And we were talking about what does choose to challenge mean to us and the things that we're doing. And the person that was spearheading this effort, she is the founder and visionary of a movement called Celebrate You. And many of you may have seen that on Facebook because the group is on Facebook. But she is also a business consultant, a commercial real estate, I'll say mogul. And so she's given so much back from what she does in her businesses. And she is the founder of this Celebrate You movement, of which I'm actually one of the co-founders. And she put together this showcase 22 women internationally for Women in HerStory Month. And she's been getting the most vile misogynistic, racist hatred sent to her. She's honoring women, and she is literally getting things sent to her that I'm saying, okay, wow. That's all people can do, is literally just denigrate someone for lifting up women. And some of the things that are being done and said, just the attempt to bully, because we as women, I mean, I'm just gonna be real and raw. You can't bully us. You just can't. We are not gonna allow it. We know who we are, and we are gonna stand firm in that. And that is not to bash our men. Our strength helps our men to become who they are. As women, we raise sons, and we hope that we raise them well. As women, we are someone's wife, and we hope that we are supporting our husband in all that he does very well. So it's not to bash men, but I was just so shocked that she was getting this response and this hate and these racist attacks, misogynistic attacks. So it disturbed me deeply. And when I came to myself, I said, okay, let me make sure that I am supporting her. And so this is the thought that I want to leave with you, as well as what I've said previously. Make sure you are supporting your sisters. Make sure that you are truly understanding what it means to be your sister's keeper. That is something that is huge, that is part of the Ascension Academy and a lot of Revolution Ascension's programs, because people throw these cliches out there and sometimes they don't really have the full understanding of what that means. So we spend time on really understanding what it means to be your sister's keeper in deed, not just in word, but in word, in deed, and even in our thinking, how we, in our minds and our mindset, because that's where our actions are going to come from. So we spend a lot of time around that. And so I put out a call to women within that particular group to stand up. When one of our sisters is being attacked, don't just click the like or love and speak out with your voice. Take and record a 60-second, 2-minute response. Share it out to other people and let them know that we don't sit back and just watch someone denigrate and attack our fellow sisters, especially when they're doing something that is helping and uplifting other women. And so in the one sense, I was like, what is wrong with these people? And then in the second sense, I had to look at the reality of where we are. And this is why it's so important for us not to just let this month go by with, oh, it's over, and we forget about it until March 2022. We want to make sure that we are doing something at all times to make our mark in history. And one of those things is making sure that we're raising our voices, we are choosing to challenge, and we are standing up for one another as women. So make sure that you're being your sister's keeper. On your daily basis, make sure that we are supporting and uplifting one another. Because I was telling you, I gave a radical response. I want the world to know that when you come for one of us, you come for all of us. That's being your sister's keeper. When you attack one of us, you are attacking all of us. And we are going to come back with all of us in one way or another. So there's a lot that we can do to support and uplift one another. But let's make sure that we are doing that. Let's make sure that we are not part or contributing to the problem, but we are part of the solution. Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. Well, I go high, but I also go high with my voice and with my actions. Words are powerful. Our voices are powerful. And it is time for us to take the mask off our voices. That's another part of the Ascension Academy, Unmask Your Voice. but it is about unmasking your voice and being heard. It is about the action that you take. And you don't have to go out and start a big movement. There are enough movements in this day and time where, guess what? You can definitely join somebody's group and be part of some of these movements. The key thing to understand is that for 4 years, we had a man in the White House that led by intimidation, fear, denigration, emasculating men, just totally being crude and rude and disrespectful to women, the denigration that he gave to women. That is what was in that White House for 4 years. This country has been fueled with hatred and fear for 4 years on steroids. And some may say, well, it was like that back in the civil rights movement. It's never gone away. Well, it was on steroids for the last 4 years at a whole new level. And the remnants of that are still here. The remnants of that didn't just magically disappear. It just moved out of Pennsylvania Avenue and spread to other places that it wasn't already there. So I want to make sure that we're conscious of that, because this is not just rah-rah, let's march, let's get behind these movements. We are in an awful place in the United States. We're in an awful place right now. And that's not to say doom and gloom and to frighten people, but I want to impress upon you that we are in an awful place right now, regardless of what we see as, oh, well, we're glad we've got a new president and a new vice president. That's great. But what's going to be our part? So I'm challenging my queen sisters out there. Are you depending on Vice President Kamala Harris and her team to come up with everything? And I cite her versus President Biden because I want to stay with the theme of women in history. So are we depending on her to do everything? Are we depending on our previous First Lady, Michelle Obama, to just continue being out there and doing everything, and we're content sitting home and watching what she does on television? Or are we going to make sure that we are involved in some way, shape, or form? Are we going to start looking at organizations that we can become active in? Are we looking at what we can do one-on-one? Are we looking at what we can do even in our homes, in our families, to make our mark in history? So this is a very spirited and passionate recording video, because I cannot impress upon my beloved queen sisters out there enough how important it is for us to be one another's keepers, but most importantly, at a time such as right now, to be involved. So what am I doing from a personal level? Well, I have grown children, I have grandchildren, and I even have great-grandchildren. So what I'm doing is continuing to take every lesson learned and apply it in the wisdom and the knowledge that I impart into those that I have influence over. I am making sure that I am imparting things in my adult son on raising his son, my grandson, that my grandson will grow up to be a better man than what we see today with this hatred and these misogynistic messages and this really just pulling and denigrating women. I want to make sure. So those are things that I'm doing on a personal level. What am I doing that can make an impact outside of my immediate home and my immediate family or friends? Well, Revolution Ascension has the Ascension Academy. And the Ascension Academy helps to take women through unique processes in a very revolutionary and radical manner that actually brings us to our highest elevation, so that we are prepared and we are girded up to go and make our mark in HerStory. So I will not go through all of the things that we provide in the Ascension Academy or our retreats or any of our webinars, but what I encourage you to do is I encourage you to click on the book button and book a 30-minute consultation with us. It is a true consultation. We will send you a questionnaire so that you can fill that out and so that you can get the most out of our session. And during that session, we look at and we discuss with you where you want to go. What is it that you want to do from a self-development, and just where is it that you want to go in your life, in your path, in your purpose, in your destiny in general. And then, should you decide to join some of our programs or should you not, you will have at least received a true, and I say true, 30-minute consult. Not 30 minutes of us trying to convince you to sign up for one of our programs. I promise you that that is not what the consult is. You will get 30 minutes of a true consultation that you can walk away with. And if you so choose to join our programs, that's a beautiful thing. But if not, we are happy that we have been able to give you something. So schedule your free consultation today. And remember, my question to you is, what are you doing to make your mark in history? I am the revolutionary radical Jacqueline Lulu Brown with a message for the masses of women so that they may ascend to their highest self.